As Game of Thrones would say, winter is coming. And for myself, and I'm sure a lot of others, that also comes with seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, or seasonal depression. Here's what I'm doing this year so I can actually be happy in the winter. So, if you're not familiar with seasonal affective disorder, it's a mood disorder that pretty much happens in the late fall slash winter time and subsides around May. This is due to the Earth's rotation and there not being as much sunlight as the spring and summer months. And the disorder can affect you in a variety of ways, which I'll just read off to you now. Depression, changes in sleep patterns, increased appetite and weight gain, fatigue and low energy, social withdrawal, difficulty concentrating, and loss of interest in activities. I was never really affected by this until I moved to Pennsylvania when I was 14, or at least I didn't realize I was. It was always hard for me to figure out if it was like the wrestling season, the weight cutting, that was the issue, or if it was maybe seasonal affective disorder. But this last year, as I wasn't competing, I felt the same way. I was tired all the time. I didn't want to do anything. I was letting clothes and trash pile up in my room. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't taking care of my sleep. I wasn't taking care of my diet. Basically, all the symptoms that I was saying before. And until this year, I've never really prepared for it, or prepared for the start of SAD. This year, I hope to do things a little bit differently, and I'll go through the steps I'm taking to combat SAD this year. So number one, I actually have like a light therapy lamp thing that's plugged in here. That's also somehow my light for this video. Since there's less sunlight, you can replace regular sunlight with artificial sunlight when it's dark in the mornings. I think you're supposed to do it for like 15 or 30 minutes, like a foot and a half from your face. This has actually been useful to me recently as I've been waking up earlier, which is also something I'm going to start doing more. Going to sleep earlier, probably around 9-10 p.m., and waking up at 5 a.m. so I can be awake and out when the sun's actually up. That goes into number 3, which would be being in the sun for 15 to 30 minutes a day. And I think for me, this will mostly be in the mornings when I'm commuting to work, to the gym, whatever. Just getting that sunlight in is super beneficial. Most of the time in the winters, I've just kept myself indoors because it's cold, because it's gross outside, but I'm gonna have to start forcing myself to actually get out. And I think I can do that through, 1, still going to the gym, forcing myself out of the house, and 2, by waking up earlier so I have time before work. Number 4, fourth thing I'm doing is taking vitamin D supplements. So yeah, one of these gives me 625% of my daily value of vitamin D, but I've actually been taking 2 of those because I've read from some people that sometimes even 1 isn't enough for them. And the weather's been kind of weird over the last few weeks, where it's starting to get colder, starting to get darker, and taking 2 of those a day I think has helped, but I'm not 100% sure. Number 5 would be exercise. I've actually started this more recently, but I've been going to the gym like every single day for the last month and a half, and that's something I plan to keep up and stay disciplined about. I actually really enjoy working out and going to the gym. It starts my day right. It gives me a mood boost in the mornings. So that's another thing I'm doing to stay on top of it. I guess the last one would be diet, just putting real foods into my body. Before, in the winters, it's gotten bad where I'm eating a lot of processed food, a lot of sugary food, because it makes me feel good temporarily, but in the long run, it just makes things worse. So trying to stay on top of eating real foods like meat, eggs, rice, whatever, over cookies and other processed foods all the time. So that's pretty much my plan for this year. When I was in Boston, when I was at school, I know a lot of friends, a lot of people I knew were going through a similar thing. But one, I don't think any of us wanted to address it. I don't think anybody wants to say that they have seasonal depression. I mean, maybe now in this day and age, because we just say really dark things to each other all the time. But I think it's hard for us to open up about these things because they're so personal, because maybe we think that they make us look weak. But by actually talking about this and staying on top of things and accepting that you might be affected, I think those are positive first steps. In years past, I think I wanted to deny that I was just depressed. I wanted to just be a man and fight through it, but that obviously hasn't worked. So this year I'm taking steps to actually combat it and really just accepting that this is just something that's affecting me. I don't know if anybody's watching this. If you do have other tips, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Just want people to feel very safe around a topic like this, because I know it's hard to talk about, and just want us to all be okay, because it honestly sucks. Like, I kind of like the winter. Like, Christmas time is my favorite time of year, but being sad most of the time, being sleepy most of the time, honestly just sucks. So here's to getting through it better this year. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.